hell? We got ships sinking, planes crashing, big beautiful bill passing, and Diddy not being found guilty? And you guys also not smashing that like button? What the hell, man? What is going on this planet Earth, man? No, I'm just joking around. You guys do not have to like the video. You do not have to subscribe. But I'm not joking about the P. Diddy situation, okay? He's not found guilty, is what they're saying. We also got planes crashing. We're going to get down to that. But first of all, check this patch notes. Check these patch notes out. Roll it.
The yeas are 218. The nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
Uh-oh. There we go. USA, USA, USA. Yeah. Happy 4th of July to my American viewers out there. We just had the Canadian Day, Canada Day the other day, right? So shout out to my American viewers out there.
Without
Big,
objection, the motion
bill
to reconsider is laid on the table.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Okay, let's cut to the chase, okay? Let's cut to the chase.
How many miracles it takes to qualify?
How many miracles?
I don't know how many miracles it takes to qualify for sainthood or canonization, but Mike Johnson has threaded the needle so many times with a really narrow majority. Look, I did not think Kevin McCarthy should be replaced, period, new paragraph. But Mike Johnson has done an amazing job with a very narrow margin. He's just a really modest guy, so he's not going to take a lot of credit for it.
Okay.
You know, Trey.
Yeah. In other words, humble. He humble.
Really couldn't lose too many votes here. They get this thing with a 4-vote margin. They had 2 members of their own party.
Yo, did you see what happened? What the hell? You check this out. So you keep your eyes on this one, alright? So homeboy ended up receiving something, and then
votes here. They get this thing with a 4-vote margin. They had 2 members.
There you have it. He's like, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, something happened. He read something.
Of their own party vote against. The cohesion that you're seeing from this party has to leave Speaker Johnson feeling pretty good about what the next about year and a half has in store for him.
Okay, year and a half.
There's a reason he thanked the White House, because the White House is the reason for the cohesion.
Right, now let's actually get down to the people, the homies that are not thanking. And I want to know, like, of course, like, I'm Canadian, I'm in Canada, right? So I don't know everything about the big beautiful bill, but I'm seeing a lot of people being against it, and I'm seeing a lot of people being for it. 1 in the comments if you're for it, 2 in the comments if you're not for it. And you know, people are also calling it the big ugly bill. Apparently it's to do with Medicaid, which I don't know everything about it, but I'm hearing that a lot of people are gonna lose Medicaid. Now of course, like, that's an L, right, in that aspect. But yeah, I don't know everything about it, so let's actually find out together, fellas. Roll it.
Well, it took a marathon all-night session, but House Republicans have passed President Trump's $4.5 trillion domestic agenda.
The measure extends significant tax cuts.
Hey, man, can a brother get 2 pennies? Bruh. 4.5 trillion, God.
And dramatically slashes safety net programs like Medicaid. KTLA's Carlos Salcedo joins us from the newsroom with more. Carlos.
Right.
Carlos. Rick, good evening. Now, there were a few Republican holdouts which delayed the bill's final passage. In the end, only 2 GOP members voted against the mega bill. Now, this gives the president his first major legislative win of his second term.
Only 2?
But it didn't come without pushback from Democrats. They were unified in their opposition.
Yeah.
The motion is adopted.
Dang. Let's cut to the
President
chase.
Trump's big, beautiful bill got a buoyant reception by House Republicans after its final passage in the chamber Thursday, overcoming multiple last-minute setbacks.
Mr. Speaker, that's not America. We're better than that.
Yep.
Including a marathon midnight session, where Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries set a record for the longest floor speech, blasting Trump's sweeping tax
the homie Hakeem
cut and spending mega bill. The passage falling mostly along.
I don't know anything about the homie Hakeem. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Okay, so guys, like, I'm just playing around, but
party lines is a huge victory for the president's agenda, allowing him to move forward with $4.5 trillion in tax breaks and increased funding for national security. The president taking a victory lap.
Biggest tax cut in history. Great for security. Great on the southern border. Immigration is covered. We covered just about everything.
ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons echoing those remarks, posting on social media. The unprecedented funding for ICE will enable my hardworking officers and agents to continue making America safe again. Democrats saying the bill delivers deep cuts to Medicaid, denies food assistance to kids in need, seniors, and veterans.
I don't think I've ever seen, I don't think we have ever seen or are prepared for how catastrophic this.
And now let's actually move on to the next chapter, guys, because the next chapter is kind of crazy, okay? This one, we touched a little bit on it before, but man, okay, yeah, this one, you gotta be flipping my flapjacks, okay? Real quick, do I need to shout out the homie Face for the $2? 4.5 trillion, and I'm getting the 2, okay? Looks like that I'm gonna get some. The homie said deport SKizzle. Yeah, because this is to do with the this Elon situation, right? Check this out. But man, no more GTA 6 lol. Keep up the good work, bro. Come on, man. Shout out to the homie Sunflower. See, Sunflower is nice. He says thanks. He doesn't say deport. Yeah, shout out to the homie Albert, of course. Shout out to Eliza. Shout out to all of you out there, man. I love y'all, man. But stay safe, y'all. But check this out. So this is funny. This is funny, but hilarious, and also not so funny. Roll it.
Yeah, there it is. Is Trump going to deport Elon? I saw him talking about that, but realistically, no, he's not going to deport Elon.
It's time for a new political party that actually cares about the people.
I don't know. I've been wanting to take a look. Might have to put Doge on Elon.
Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Elon may get more.
Yeah, and exactly. I'm more of a hybrid person. No, bro, like the Cybertruck, bro. Like I've seen it. It does look amazing, okay? But imagine you run out of electric, right? Electricity. You run out of a battery, right? Then what? And it apparently takes a lot of time to charge as well. But I love other than that, I love the model, the way, and of course, like EVs are for some people, but not for everybody. I feel like that everybody should have choice as well. I'm more of an hybrid person because it's just the best of both worlds, right? But of course, a lot of people love gas cars as is, and you know, nothing wrong with that.
More subsidy than any human being in history by far. And without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard...
Man, yo! Now, for sure, like, a lot of people love the homie Elon, a lot of people don't like the homie Elon, but yo, you gotta agree with the fact that, bruh, like, he done, in a way, okay? Some things, let's just say some things, let's not say a lot, but he done some things for America, right? Like he sent rockets out there, right? He got SpaceX, man. He got Tesla. Oh my God, he put like so many people. He gave so many people jobs. He also fired a lot of people too. That's true as well. But he gave a lot of people jobs, right? He done a lot for, I guess, in some way, a lot for America. Now, if he gets deported to South Africa. Hey man, you gotta be flipping my flapjacks for that one, right? But another factor is this: if he ever gets deported, which I don't think it's gonna happen, let's be real, but if he ever gets deported, he can just buy the 5 million gold card that the homie Trump just announced. Simple, unless the homie Trump like perma blocks him, then damn it.
Look at this. Big money to be saved.
Did you comment on Trump saying Elon's home is in South Africa? No, I'll give you my brief opinion on that. I think it's stupid and I think it's destructive. Elon and Trump should be working together. They agree on 9 out of 10 things, and the arguments and fighting between them only serves to weaken both of their parties and both of their positions. It's a bad idea.
Yeah. Hey.
No other way to say this, but while Asman is good at making fun of people, he is not good at video games.
It's a real tweet. Yeah, I remember this. Elon's comeback was, he's not good at video games. Okay, bro. Alright, let's get down to some serious stuff, and then we're gonna get down to some even more serious stuff with P. Diddy not being found guilty. I mean, say psych, Holmes, but check this out, roll it.
Flying used to feel like the safest bet. You boarded a flight, you dozed off, you landed. But lately, flying feels different.
Yeah.
1 minute you're cruising at 32,000 feet, the next, the plane drops. Oxygen masks fall, panic spreads, and passengers start texting their last goodbyes.
Ooh.
In the past few months, flights across Asia, from India to Japan to Indonesia, have turned into terrifying headlines.
Yeah, there was one from Ahmedabad, I believe, right? That plane literally crashed, right? I didn't make a video on it because I was not around. I had like other videos at that time go up. But yeah, no, absolutely terrifying. And there was only one guy that survived, so God bless that dude, right? And rest in peace to every person that lost their lives on that. And you know what I mean, right? It's crazy. And again, like, I believe it was the Boeing plane. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was Boeing. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not gonna say 100%, but I believe it was Boeing. So the saying is, if it's Boeing, I'm not going.
Is it just a string of bad luck? Or is the aviation industry facing a deeper crisis?
So now it's Japan Airline. Now, thank God the plane did not crash, but wait for it.
By the time the oxygen masks dropped, it was already too late for calm. The Japan Airlines flight from Shanghai was cruising at 32,800 feet.
Yeah.
That's when, according to passengers, the plane suddenly plunged. It wasn't a dip or a wobble, the kind that makes your stomach flip. It was a plummet.
Like fell
oxygen
down.
masks dropped.
That's the thing though, how can a plane, any pilot watching, let us know, right, what could, because I've seen this clip before, right, so it does not explain like how, so I'm just imagining 32,000 feet and bam, 26. Usually it would go like this, right, but the way it's being described, it just plunged real fast, so yeah, people felt it to the point where they were like, nah, it's just over, right? Yeah, what could have caused that?
Passengers started panicking. Some even typed out farewell notes on their phones. The Boeing 737 eventually made an emergency landing at Kansai Airport, Osaka. Everyone survived,
yeah, thank
but
God.
many left with psychological scars and nagging questions.
Yeah, for sure.
In the past few months, flight after flight has made headlines on how they almost didn't get there.
Dang. Yeah, this
on June 12th,
oh man, yeah.
an Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner, on its way to London, crashed shortly after takeoff in Ahmedabad. The crash killed 241 of the 242 people on board.
Holy, yeah.
2 days later, another Air India flight, this time to Vienna, dropped 900 feet mid-air shortly after departure.
This is crazy. So this is the second flight, did almost the same, but thank God it did not fully crash. But 900 feet, and it felt like dropping, because it's one thing for the plane to drop when it's like at 32,000 feet in the air and dropping like several thousand feet. Yes, it's scary, but thank God they survived, right? That's exactly the point. It did not crash because they had the time to recover, and thank God nothing bad happened. But in this situation, bro, we could have seen almost the same thing happen.
And just days after that, yet another Air India flight, this one from Mumbai to Chennai, made an emergency return due to a burning smell in the cabin.
Holy shit, a third one. Dang. Indonesia
Another
as well?
Batik Air flight in Indonesia barely escaped disaster in a storm, one wing terrifyingly close to scraping the ground.
Yeah, something like that happened in Toronto as well. Okay, so that's a little different, perhaps because of the weather, or perhaps because of the pilot, or perhaps it was really because the faulty plane, huh?
It's not just you, everyone's wondering the same thing. Is flying still safe? The short answer is yes. The longer answer is not as safe as it was pretending to be.
Yeah.
There's one name that keeps popping up in nearly all of these stories.
There we have it.
The American aircraft giant, once the gold standard of aviation, now finds itself in trouble. The Boeing 737-800 was involved in the Japan Airlines emergency descent. It is part of the same family that has been linked to over a dozen fatal crashes since 2000. This isn't just bad luck, it is systemic. While Boeing insists that the...
I remember hearing this, and it was an interview done by, I believe, someone that went inside the Boeing. Maybe if you have actually watched documentaries on it or videos on it, maybe you know what I'm talking about. But there was a short version as somebody went inside the Boeing manufacturing area, and the employees that were behind working on Boeing, right? So he interviewed those people, the employees, and all the employees, and this was back around like 2013, 2014 ish. So the interviewer asked, hey, would you actually aboard those planes? Would you like sit on those planes and fly? And mostly all of them said no, we wouldn't, we don't feel safe. And that was like almost 10 years ago. Essentially what we learned from that was the parts that Boeing was using 10 years ago, not sure about now, the parts they were using were cheap, and essentially they were not built to last. So, and now 10 years later, the planes are really becoming old, right? So we're seeing the tear. I mean, not just the tear, the planes are literally crashing, dog. Not all of them, thankfully, but we're seeing what's going on. So I guess it was really the cheap parts. Like, they're playing with people's lives out there, man. Damn.
Newer models are now safe. Confidence is still in free fall. Now, let's be clear, flying is still statistically the safest way to travel. You're far more likely to die from choking on food than from a plane crash. But statistics don't always soothe fear, especially when there are such stories of mid-air emergencies. To add to that, there are a few problems. Aircraft are aging.
That too, yeah, that's
Many airlines, especially in developing countries, are flying planes well past their prime, even as maintenance costs rise. Then there are workforce gaps. The global aviation industry is facing a shortage of skilled pilots, air traffic controllers, and maintenance workers. So, new employees are being trained faster, some say.
Because, like, everybody want to be a TikToker nowadays, so there's that. Yeah, it's like a combination of everything, like multitude of things for sure, like human error, pilot error. But those things aren't too... pilot errors are, of course, you gotta take them into account as well, but in most of these situations, we're finding that the planes were also faulty, right? So it's a multitude of all these things. But let's actually get down to this one, which was shocking. I've seen like a couple minutes of this one. Check this roll.
The question: did he do it?
Did he or did he?
I don't think anybody could have predicted this.
Yeah. Oh no.
But somehow the answer seems to be no.
Crossing on the wires right now, Sean Diddy Combs is found not guilty on the racketeering conspiracy charge in this federal case. The verdict on the 4 remaining counts are not read yet.
No fucking way.
Here's another alert. Combs found not guilty in the sex trafficking of his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Here's another one.
There you go, fellas. You heard it here.
Combs found, okay, so this is count 2 now. Combs found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs found...
Which is like, that's nothing. Oh, driving a hoe around?
Yeah.
Fuck, I've done that.
Uh-huh.
Guilty of sex trafficking.
Bro.
And that applies to the girlfriend who went by the pseudonym as the name Jane.
Okay.
And CB, I'll bring you in. I just want to read one more alert here because some of this seems to be a bit of a duplicate as it's coming in. Combs found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution with the former girlfriend who I just mentioned as Jane. So those are 5 quick alerts that just came up on the Reuters wire, and we're awaiting more from inside the courtroom as we speak.
Whoever his lawyer is, I feel like that guy can quadruple his rate and still have that shit be on sale.
Right. Like yo, you gotta be flipping my flapjacks, okay? That's probably the best lawyer in the world, bro. Like, you know? Yeah, everyone that gonna have billions or millions of dollars and they ever get into shit like that, they would just go after that lawyer. I bet, like, they already wrote down in their, like, secret diaries, like somewhere they like took notes and put it under their beds, right? Just in case they ever get caught, so they gotta, like, you know, and they don't forget, they gotta call that lawyer.
That dude is like, that's some fucking what's that dude, that guy's name? Oh my god, that's not even Saul Goodman. That's like fucking Ace. This is some Ace Attorney shit.
Oh, there's another one that's better than Saul
with what you have down there at court.
Oh, it's just nuts.
Bill, so what I'm looking at, count 1 through 5, the only count that I see that Diddy has been found guilty.
Who is, so Johnny Cochran? No way that's Diddy's lawyer.
Say something, homie. Oh, he gonna Google, okay? Johnny Cochran.
No way. It's not?
It's not.
It was.
Oh, it was.
I think this is from back in the day. Like,
okay,
this photo was taken in 1994, okay?
Yeah.
He dead? Then it's probably not him.
Oh, man. Okay, so it's not Johnny Cochran? Okay.
That's probably
is
not
count
him.
3, transportation to engage in prostitution as it pertains to Diddy's ex-girlfriend and accuser, Cassie Ventura. The other 4 counts I am seeing, excuse me, let me backpedal a little.
Chat is faster than Chat GPT. That's crazy, huh?
But you guys, this is all breaking in. We're dealing with rolling thunder out here. So I'm seeing Diddy has been found guilty on 2 counts. The transportation to engage in prostitution counts.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, the only counts he has been found guilty of are the transportation to engage in prostitution. And I want to say that comes with a possible prison sentence of 10 years in prison. And
damn, that's okay. Yeah, 10 years for that too? Okay.
We're working to learn more, but there is a crowd gathered here outside the courtroom. I'm not sure who is among this crowd, but Bill and Dana, I know you've been watching the trial closely.
Oh, they beefing? What brothers be beefing about, man?
And you know there are a slew of Diddy supporters out here who have come every single day. It looks like
I cannot believe
supporters. Oh shit! Hey man! Hey yo! Hey! Oh, I'm out! I'm out! I'm out! Yo! I'm out! I'm out! Supporters? I was gonna say like, or I thought she was meant to say Diddy haters or people that don't support him, right?
Believe that they were actually. I cannot believe he might actually walk. This is insane that all of these guys are right. Holy fuck.
Yeah, they gonna have the W. They gonna have the W.
What appears to be one of Diddy's supporters is out here in front of the courthouse explaining to cameras.
Oh, he explained it, okay.
Perhaps why he believes his someone he supports was vindicated of the most serious charge, racketeering conspiracy. There are hundreds of cameras and we're waiting to get some more color from inside the courtroom. But we know that jurors came back with this ultimatum today.
CB, I'll let you go for the moment so you can gather some more news down there. I just want to repeat the main headline. And that is this: Sean Diddy Combs acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering. The racketeering is the most serious charge. That was count 1. That would have put him behind bars for the rest of his life. Not guilty on that charge. So to recap, of the 5 counts, 3 not guilty, Dana, and 2 guilty in Manhattan federal court.
This is monumental, Elizabeth. We've been covering this case for 2 months, really for more than a year at this point in time. We are seeing about the actual verdict here. And just for the
somebody said round 2 in the comments.
I wouldn't understand. Count 1 was the most serious charge, carrying up to a life sentence. He has been found not guilty of racketeering, conspiracy, RICO. Not guilty. He's also been found not guilty of sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. She testified for days. We're also learning that he's been found guilty of the transportation to engage in prostitution count involving Cassie Ventura. He's been found not guilty of sex trafficking of Jane, who is the girlfriend that he was dating as well, and guilty.
You just can't stand seeing a black man in the White House? I thought we just got done watching that one video about how Trump was the first black president. What do you mean?
Yo, what? Hey, man.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Of the transportation to engage in prostitution. Now,
Whoa,
Elizabeth,
you dumb?
this is very significant. We had an inkling yesterday when there was a hung jury on the initial RICO charge, the most serious, that there might be an actual acquittal there or a hung jury.
Oh my God.
Talk to me more broadly here, because the Prostitution Act, people thought it was kind of a low-hanging
Why
fruit.
you always?
He was found guilty of those, but not.
I gotta give you the red card, sir.
Sex trafficking of Cassie.
This is the best possible outcome for the defense. This is
just say,
what, of course they want to
just say it's a Diddy W. Just say it's a Diddy W. It obviously is. You might not like it, but it is.
The most serious charges he has been acquitted on. The jury did not believe most of their story, or even if they believed most of their story, it did not line up with those charges. So,
and by the way, on that point, let's talk a little bit about that, because there was an inkling for those people who'd been in the courtroom, including ourselves, who'd been watching the testimony. Remember what they were using as a defense to counter the sex trafficking. It was free will. They were talking about free will, and they were suggesting while the.
Did you see this video, guys? Did you see this video? Probably you didn't, right? And that's the thing. Click on this video on the screen and check it out, because the stuff that they were talking about in this one, crazy. Totally crazy. This is an insane one. Check it out and I'll see you right there. They're exposing it.